Hi, Simon.
Hey.
Hi. Um, well, I think the most important thing that happened with Audio Bullies, apart from this new single, is Tom leaving in 2012.
Yeah.
Did you see it coming?
I think you don't necessarily ever see these things. You just kind of keep working until it stops. But I think we were due a break, you know. We did 10 years we started 2002, so it was exactly 10 years since we began. And we toured non-stop for near enough 10 years. And I think when you spend that much time with anyone and that much time in airports and travelling and, you know, doing live shows and making records, like, you know, it gets to a point where you've just seen someone so much that you want to have a break.
So at first it was a break and then he left permanently, or?
No, we kind of fell out a little bit and he said, I'm quitting. And it was a bit of a shock, but I think we both had enough of being stuck together like that. I don't think it's normal for anyone to be like that.
Go ahead.
And it just came to a natural end, you know.
And what did you think when it happened? Did you think, well, now I'm quitting too, or no, I'm just gonna...
Well, there was still gigs. There was a gig in Argentina and I took my cousin along. And basically, since then I've sort of, when gigs have come in, which has not been loads, but when there's been work, I've had different stages of taking different people. A friend of mine, Andy Ampho, came quite a lot, and then another friend of mine called Simon, he came. So it's been a mixture of people coming and playing with me, but I'm kind of looking at maybe getting something permanent, you know.
Okay, so maybe to really replace Tom with some...
Yeah, but it has to be right, and there's not been the workload to sort of know how it's definitely going to go.
But did you ever think about quitting maybe the Audio Bullies? Or?
Yeah, it crosses my mind, and then work comes in and I think, well, people still seem to want to see it and hear it, so there's times when I've thought, maybe I should just stop it, but I spent all those years doing it and the music's still there, and so... Yeah.
Do you still speak to Tom?
Yeah, funnily enough, about 2 months ago, we had a night out. It was a friend of ours' birthday, and Tom was DJing at her party, and I feel like we kind of made up, you know. And
Well, was that the first time in 4 years, or?
No, I'd seen him, but it was the first time that we kind of admitted that we'd missed each other, and you know, enough time had passed that it was like, you know, before the music we were friends, so it's nice to have that back again. Not that we'll be hanging out probably all the time or anything, but...
And not that he will be joining again?
I don't think he wants to. I don't think he liked touring as much as I did, or do. But we'll see. I'll never say never. You know, the door would be open if he wanted to. But I feel like he's maybe done with that chapter. But who knows what will happen in the future? You can never say.
You said that the requests for your music remained throughout the years.
Yeah.
Why did people want to see it the last 6 years? What?
I guess they like the songs, you know. I think, and don't get me wrong, it's not been anything like as busy as it was, because there's been no real product out until I did this feature with Sander Kleinberg on Spinning, and then I did a few of the musical all-star camps, did a few features, and now we've got this record. It was a good year, a very good year coming out. This feels like the beginning, really, this single and the release with Spinning, and I'm going to do a mix with them this afternoon, a 1 hour mix. I mean...
So what do people say about the first 3 albums? What sort of reaction do you get? What do people still like about Audio Bullies?
Well, the first album is the one people always kind of say that's everyone's favourite as far as an album goes. But then people have their favourites off every album, which is good. Generation obviously had Shot You Down on. Then Higher Than the Eiffel had Only Man on it. But it's interesting, you know, because I've been just hanging out with different people and everyone's got their favourite, and I think there's a lot of undiscovered stuff actually from every album. Well, definitely the second two albums.
And what is your favourite part, maybe, of the albums?
I think Turned Away was a really good... I mean, the whole of Ego War I'm proud of, the first album, as I am all of them, but that was... You know, that had just something special about the fact that we'd made it, you know, and we'd managed to get a deal, and we were excited about it. We were 22 years old or whatever, and it was just, there's a freshness to it. London Dreamer on Higher Than the Eiffel and Only Man, I think they're the best two on that album. Generation, I think EQing, that was a good track. I think they've all got good stuff on. Yeah.
What did you do music-wise the last 6 years? Did you keep on producing, or?
Yeah, well, I found myself trying to find someone to take his place in the studio, and that was never going to happen because you can't reprocess him. So I kind of tried to work with various people. I got a studio in Edgware Road. It used to belong to our uncle, James Lavelle. I took that for a year and I tried to work with different people and ended up just, I think I needed some time on my own. And I kind of really learnt Logic and stuff in that time. And but yeah, kind of isolated myself a little bit and just really learnt the software, because Tom always ran the software and I did writing, you know, and writing the lyrics and writing on the keys. So I learnt Logic, that was helpful. So I did a year there. Had a couple of kids, spent a lot of time doing the dad thing. Always in and out of the studio. I was working with a guy, another Simon, for a while. But yeah, really I took a few years off. I'm always writing, I'm always going to write, and especially like just on the keys or whatever. But yeah, God, so we split in 2012. And then I guess it was like 2014 that I started to work a bit with spinning, and then that happened, started doing some of the camps, and then I met I was introduced by a guy called Aaron Ross who runs Infinite Future. He introduced me to Sven and Reg and their Surge, and so I met them in London, and then I bumped into them at one of the Music All Stars camps, and we said, look, well, we were just living in the same neighbourhood at the time, so we said, let's get in the studio, and that's how we came up with Hide From the... sorry, I keep calling it Hide From the Light, which is what we originally called the single, but it has to be called It Was a Very Good Year. So, yeah, then we came up with It Was a Very Good Year, Spinner excited about that.